Welcome to the Math Magician channel. In this video, you will learn about algebraic expressions and factorization. When you factorize algebraic expressions, you have two ways. You can taking out the common terms, or if they having a lot of terms, so you can factorize by regrouping. So what are these? Take a start. So, first of all, we have to revise the concept of algebraic expression. In mathematics, we know about it. Expression is made up of variables. What are the variables that going to change? Let's suppose I am using here x, while in the next I can use the y. I can use any alphabet here. Must remember it. Variables are the alphabets. They are the hidden numbers. We are showing by the alphabets. You know the algebra, the numbers and the alphabets both make up your algebra. So what are the variables that going to vary? Actually this value always becomes vary, change. So they are called the variables. They are known as the sum having constants. Constant, as the name suggests, are those numbers which having the same value. It means they are not going to change. Why? Because this three will remain same. But a variable will affect these. Might be possible x is equals to 2, or this x is equals to 3, 5 and so on. But the constant, look at here, if the 3 is there, it means it's 3. Okay, so along with the algebraic operations, it means it's having some variables, constant, coefficients. It's not always coefficient with the variable. So that's why they are writing these variables and constant along with the operation that is going to add, that is going to subtract. Okay, what about that coefficient? As the name suggests, correlate and efficient. This number is very efficient. Why? Because it's going to change according to the value of x. Co-effect of this value, so that's why it's known as the coefficient, and that is going to variable vary, be known as variable. Okay, and what about this? The number that remains same, there is no effect of the variable or any other factor, so they are the constant. And in this way, they are making the different terms. In algebraic expressions, we have so many terms. Just like if they are using this and they are not going to add or subtract, as basically addition and subtraction, it's they are the separators. They are giving you the different terms. If I am solving this, it's a monomial. If I am working for the two terms, it means binomial. If I am working for 3, it means trinomial. But now I have a 4 terms, because how I am identifying it? Because plus and the minus, they are the separators. They separate this term by this. They separate this term by this. Okay, so we are using the 4, that is quadrinomial. So if we are using more than two, it's not necessary you are writing trinomial, quadrinomial, pentanomial. You can use the word polynomial. So we are working on these type of terms in the factorization. Let's suppose I have a question 4x plus 6. What my question? They are giving you factorization by taking common factor. What I have 4x plus 3. Okay, this term, how many terms I have? I have two terms because this is the separator and I have 6 and I have 4x. Okay, so look at what is the common between them in both the terms. Okay, so this having x while this term having no x. Okay, okay, so what is the common between them? You know, 1 2 is common between them. Why? Because 2 twos are 4. I'm going to elaborate this so you can able to understand this very easily. 2 threes are 6. It means that this 2, because you are working for the factor are the friends, those coming in that table. So you have to decide or take that number that comes in both table, that belongs to 4 family, that also belongs to 6 family. So both comes in a table of 2. And what we are working? Factor. We are working on the factorization by taking out the common factor. And factors are the friends or the numbers that comes in that table. Okay, so 2 4 and 6 both are comes in 2 table. Now this 4, when I'm writing 2 outside of the bracket, it means what is left over here? 2. Why? Because 2 twos are 4. If you are solving again, 2 twos are 4. So this satisfies this situation. X will remain same because I'm not taking any x common. Plus sign will be as it is. And what about the 6? It's going to reduce by 3. So what is my final answer? 2 and in the bracket 2x plus 3. And when I am solving this again by expanding method, we know about it. If they are giving for the expanding, we have to expand, remove the bracket. So 2 is going to multiply with 2x first, and this 2 again going to multiply with this 3. So what comes 2 twos are 4x, and this 2 again is going to multiply by 3. 2 threes are 6, so it again this will be happening. So it means the answer is correct. How you are doing the working on it? By taking out the common factors. It means you are taking or working on the factorization. For what is factorization? Dividing into very small parts, into very small chunks. Okay, those terms are given to you. You have to simplify. That is called the process of the factorization. The numbers will taking out by the numbers, and the variables will be by the variables. If the variable is same, you can take out the common. Let's move on so move on and solve further examples so we can understand the topic very easily. Again, look at, it's having the variable but there is no variable found. So what about the numbers? In this we know about it, both comes in a table of 2. So can I write 2 common from here? Okay, look at here. So what is left over? If I'm taking 2 common here, it means only A is left. Okay, and must remember we have to use the round brackets for it. The separator will remain same. So what is left over from here? This is 8. And what about this 6? 6 is reduced into 3. So what is left over? 3 is left over. Look at over here. If we are expanding it again to A and then 2 threes are 6. It means the working is correct. So what you are working? You are finding the factors by solving the factorization. So you know about it how to take out the common terms from the algebraic expressions. These are the algebraic expressions. Why we are using the expression word? Why we are not using the equation? Because there is no sign of the equality. If this is equals to 7, it's like an equation. But we are not asking about the equation. We are not working for the equation. We are working for the expression. And expressions only having different terms. Two terms means binomial. Okay. Now look at over here. This is quite different. This is 3a. This is 6y. This having the number also. This having the variable also. This number known as, we know about it, those numbers that with variable they are known as the coefficients. So there is 6 and y. So what we have to do, we have to take the common from these two terms. What is the common between them? We know about it. 3 and 6. First we are comparing the numbers. We are making the round bracket, and we are doing the addition of it. Okay, so what is the common between them? What about the numbers? 3 and 6 both comes in a 3 table. Okay, so what is left? 1 is left here. And what is left here? 2 is left. Okay, and what about the numbers? Numbers done. Okay, so what about the variables? A and y? Yes. Is there any common between? No. So these are left over inside. If it is common, so we have to take out from there. If it is not common, so we have to write it as it is. Okay, solve another example. Let's suppose this having x power 2. So you can able to understand furthermore. Okay, what about the number from 8 and 12x? Yes, my dear. Look at first what we have to compare the numbers 8 and 12. What is the common? Both there comes in a table of four. So can I write 4 here? So what inside? 4 twos are 8, 4 threes are 12. Now what about the variable? Is there common? Yes, it's having x power 2, it's having x power 1. What about it? Look at again. This having x power 1, let's suppose this is 12x squared. The second term is this. So can I write 1x common from here? Because this is having x while this is having x multiplied by x. So I can take 1x common from there. So this will be 2 only. This will be 3x. I am changing the situation. Otherwise, if you are doing this, so what it will be common from between the numbers and from the numbers? 4. What is left? 2x. What is left here? 3. If you are solving this again, because this number with both of the numbers. Okay? So you are going to multiply and the result again, it means the working is correct. Okay, so move on towards the another example. Look at this situation, a very interesting situation. 11a and 121a. If I am taking 11a from there, because it means 11 by 11. How 121 comes? 11 by 11. So what about the numbers? I have to take the common 11 from there. What is left inside of the bracket? 11 ones are 11. Plus sign as it is. 11 elevens are 121. Because the round bracket means a parenthesis, it means when you are writing any number outside of it, it's going to multiply. The parenthesis means, the bracket means it's going to multiply. It's not necessary you have to show the multiplication sign. Okay, it's understood. This 11 is going to multiply with 1. 11 ones are 11. 11 elevens are 121. Now what about the variables here? Look at over here in A and AY. This is A, this is AY. What is the common? Exactly. Both having A. So I can write it A here. What is left over? I have already taken out the common 11A, so nothing. So I'm writing 1. Don't skip this position. We have to write 1. Okay? We have to multiply it again. You know about it in the expanded form. Okay, so what is left over here? 11y. Why? Because 11a you have taken out the common from there. Understood this strategy? So that's why the answer is 11a and 1 plus 11y. If you are going to multiply it again, but we are not doing here, they are not giving this target to us, they are giving just factorize by taking out the common terms. So those are the commons in between them. We are taking out and we are making the rounded brackets, and outside of this we are taking the common term from there, and that is left over. We have to write it inside of the bracket. Okay, now look at over here. We have three terms. Wow, it's a trinomial, or you can say it's a polynomial. Okay, so first of all, we are comparing the numbers 2, 6, 8. What are the commons in between them? All are coming in a table of 2. So, can I write 2 common? Now, what is left over inside of the bracket? I have to make a bracket here. Okay, so if I'm taking 2, only 1 is left. 2 ones are 2. Plus sign will be as it is. Minus sign will be as it is. Now what about the 6? 6 reduced into 3. Now what about the 8? 8 reduced into 4. Now the numbers problem has been resolved. Now we are moving towards the variables. This having a, while this having ax and this having az. So what is the common between or among all? It's a common. So I can take it a. What is left over? Nothing. What is left over? 3x. What is left over? 4z. So look at my answer is this. So what we are doing here by taking out the common factors. Now it's a quadrinomial. How? A polynomial having four terms. So if the questions having four terms, what you have to do, remember one thing in your mind, you have to regrouping of it. That's why they are called the factorization by regrouping, because how you can take out the comments, first you have to make the groups. So I can put it inside of 2, or I can put it inside of these two. What I'm doing here, I am making grouping of it, regrouping. The first group is given to me, but now I'm making it again into a group. That is why it's called regrouping. Regrouping factorization. So what we have to do, break the terms into two parts. Group first two together and last two together. So what I am doing here, I'm I am separating two in one bracket, separating two together in the next bracket. Now, once you have done, look at the same question as you have done in the previous, in the last question, just like both having the 5 or 15. What is common between them? 5. What is left over? X plus 3. Why x plus 3 is left over? If I am taking the 5, 5, that is no variable same, x is left over. 5 threes are 15, so 3 here. You know this strategy, how to resolve and how to taking out the common. So once you are taking out the common, this becomes this. What about this? If I'm taking out the common between them, xy plus 3y. Only y is common. It's not necessary always the number will common. Look at over here. There is no any common number. So y is here. Both having the y, and just if any nothing is common, so you can write it 1 and write the bracket as it is. So it's not necessary always the number will common, always the variables commons. According to the situation you have to solve it. So only y is common, both having y. So I can write it y as in common. So what is left? X plus 3. Here y I have taken common, so cut it. What is left? Only x. Here y I have taken out the common. What is left? 3 is left. So what is? Now we have solved this steps. This is very easy. They are giving four terms. What I have done, I am separating in two terms together. And once I am getting it, I know how to solve this, how to taking out the common terms. Okay, once I have solved, what an amazed part. What an amazed. What inside the parenthesis should? Parenthesis, bracket. What is inside of it? Look at. What is inside? Look at. What is inside? Yes, two eyes I am using here. Both are the same. You know, you have to remember it once you are solving regrouping factorization. This bracket or this bracket remains same. It must become in same number, same manner, same variable, same. Everything will be same. Uh, even though it's having the sign same. So once you have done, write your answer. How? Because these both are the same. So what I have to do? Yes. Yes, I'm thinking what I have to do. I have to write it once time x plus 3. Why? Hmm? I'm thinking out. Why? Hmm. Because both having the same. So I can take it out the common. X plus 3, I will write only one time. And what about the leftover part? I'm writing these two together. And what will be the leftover? That is 5. And plus y, we have to write it in the another bracket. So this will be my final answer. So it was difficult for you? No. And if you want to check out your correction has is correct, so you can do the multiplication again and then get it out the same thing again. And how do the multiplication will be? Look at over here x. Take out x. X is going to multiply with the whole bracket. 3 is going to multiply with the whole bracket. So definitely this all these all terms will come again. Otherwise, you can try it at home also. So, what we are learning, we are not going again expanded form, we are learning the factorization here. If you are interested in the expanded form and the multiplication, you can write it in the comment section. But this video is only about the factorization. So, what about the factorization? We have to follow these steps when they are giving you multiple terms. Again, they are giving you multiple terms. Step number one, grouping. Step number two, what is common? What is common here? I'm taking out the here that is outside of it. What is left over? If I'm taking x common from here, b is left. X from here, 2 is left. That is b plus 2. Okay. Now what is common here? 4 and 8, 4 is common. If I'm writing 4 here, it means only B is left. And what about this? 8 reduced into 2. So the first step done. Once I have done this step, what I am observing? Look at over here. What an amazed part. It's same. So what will be the third step? You have to collect or you have to write it once time. It's not necessary write it here. You can write it there also. First you will collect these numbers together and then you can write this. What are these over? X plus 4. You have to collect these numbers in a separate bracket and you have to write these fractions in a separate bracket. So this will be your last and the final steps. So we are solving one more example because they having this negative signs on it. Sometimes they are giving you the different signs. So what you have to do, we know about it. Step number one. Step number one, grouping. Step number two, taking out the common. Look at 6 and 10. Both are the friends of 2. ST or S. S is common here. What is left over when I'm taking S and 2 multiplied by 3? If I am taking what is common? I'm taking 2 common. So what is left? 3 and T. So I'm writing here 3T. Okay, if I'm writing what is meaning of 10? It means 2 multiplied by 5. So I have taken 2 common. What is left? 5. And I have already taken as common. So there's only 5 left over. Okay, now I'm solving this. 12t and 20. Okay, what is common from here? In 12 and 20, both are comes in a table of 4. So this will be 4 threes are 12. We know about it. And this will be 4 fives are 20. And what about T? It's not common, so we are writing just 4 common. T will be as it is. Do the practice of it. Pause the video, check out the learning, do the practice. Practice make the math perfect. Okay, so what about the sign? We are observing this bracket or this bracket is same. We know about it, it's always same. It's a wonderful magic. But what about the sign? Why we are changing this plus sign? They are giving this minus here. In the plus, in the previous examples, they all are me the plus sign. So but in this question, they are giving me the two negative signs. So must remember you have if you are taking out the minus 4 common, because in the previous example you always taking out the plus number, so it is easy for you. But now in this example they you are taking minus, so you have to actually satisfy this situation again. Minus plus minus. Understood? That's why I'm changing this sign. Again, listen, if I am setting or I am writing minus here, so minus minus will becomes plus. So it is not satisfy the situation. So according to the situation, you have to solve it out. Okay, my math stars. So I'm writing minus here. So definitely it will be plus. Because if you are multiplying these two numbers together or expanded form, it again comes towards that kind of situation. We know about this. The rule of the math is if we are solving this, this is equals to this. Okay. So once we have done this step, we know about it. We have same brackets. So we have to collect it in one bracket. And what are the numbers left over? Just like 2s minus 4, we have to write it in another bracket. So this will be our my final step. Yes. So move on the next part. Yes. Any question? Next part is your questioning part. You can ask any question if you want to ask, right, in the comment section. Happy learning, my math stars. Subscribe Math Magician channel. Many tips and tricks for you. Bye.